Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I'm sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good
You all are good?
Morning.
Yes, sir.
So, last class we discussed some different topics such as vulnerability assessment, what is penetration testing, and some other like CIA and some other topics, right? Before that, we talk about the firewall, right? Let's continue from there. I hope you guys have completed the homework. The homework was for malware. What is malware? Type of malwares, and
Yes, sir.
DOS and DDoS, and third one, brute force. What is brute force attack, right? And what action we can take if we see the brute force attempt, right, in our company? What kind of action has to be taken, right? You understand now what is brute force attack? You understand what is DDoS? How we
Yes,
can
sir.
prevent?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Sir, Palo Alto is the types of firewall or it is other technology?
It's a vendor.
A vendor.
You're asking, in India, Bajaj is the vendor for bike, right? You're saying Bajaj is the bike. So Bajaj is the vendor, right? Bike is the technology. Bajaj is the vendor. Similarly, Palo Alto, Fortinet, these all are vendors, mean manufacturer, developers. Okay.
In your PDF, there is a types of firewall like the proxy firewall, packet filtering firewall, stateful multi-layer,
Right.
firewall,
Deep packet
unified.
firewall. So you can check it out in detail. What I talk about is standard firewall, how it works, but there are different firewall. Proxy also we call it, some people call it firewall, but better price is different. It works as filtering only, but it kind of firewall, but we do not generally call as firewall. Proxy I'll be explaining you here.
Okay.
Okay, so you understand that last class you understand packet. Communication will happen in the form of packet. Packet will have two parts, header and data. Once it hit to the router, router will open up the layer 3 information. That means source IP, destination IP, and it will route the traffic, right? Not port. Then firewall is layer 3, layer 4 device, right? Yes or no? Understand IP address as a port number protocol. So once packet hit to the router, hit to the firewall will open the layer 3 and layer 4 information. That means header part, and check what is source IP, destination, source port, destination port, and then further check the IP address port number information on the ACL, right? If it is in allowed list, it is in deny list, it will deny. If it is the part of ACL, if there is no entry on the ACL, in that case, firewall will allow the traffic, right? Nowadays, attackers are very intelligent. For example, you know what happens whenever you deploy any application, right? Whenever for a Facebook application, right? Any of the application you deploy, right? So what we do, first of all, you have to set up one server, right? Last time I explained you. First of all, you set up one server, assign the IP address. Yes or no? Then install an application, for example, Facebook application, right? And Facebook application, whatever data you create, your profile, you upload the photo, upload the videos, right? It is being stored on the where? On the backend database. Get it? Every application will have a backend database on which they are storing your data. Get your mind? So whenever you access the facebook.com, right, it will hit to go to the server, right? Server IP address, then application port number, it hit to the application. Once, for example, you create my profile, right? My profile, the packet will go to server, right? An application, then application will check what is data is requested on the data packet, what data being requested, right? So you know what happens? For example, once you click on my profile, one packet will be initiated, right? In this packet, header will contain source and destination information, and packet will contain either actual data or the command, what data is being requested. those are actually database command, right? Once it will hit to the application, application will run those command to the database to retrieve the data. Get it mind? So data packet will actually contains the actual information which is being forwarded. If you are sending some email or sending some data outside, then data part will change the actual data. Or if you're requesting, then it will have a request command, right, which will be executed on the application, and application will execute those command on the backend database to retrieve the data. And once the packet comes back, right, the return packet will have the actual data on the data part. Get it mind? So whenever you initiate a communication, header will have the control information, that means source and destination information, and data part will have the actual data or the request of the data, means respective command. If it is SQL database, then SQL commands. Get it mind? Which application will run on the backend database to retrieve the data. Understand? Understand? So sometime what happens is, for example, now attackers are very intelligent, right? They always find out the new way to penetrate the network to compromise your data, compromise your systems, right? So there might be possible that, for example, this is an application here in this server, you have some web application installed, right, which you allow people to access from outside, right? For example, this IP address is 199.0.2.100. Okay, this is your static IP of your application that you have assigned. Got it, mind? And this particular system has the IP address 167.0.2.100. This application should be publicly available, right? You understand, right? Any application, any system you want public from the internet, right, can access those applications, should have the static IP and should have public IP address. If you send private IP address, it will not be reachable. Yes or no? In internet world, only public IP will be identified. Get it, mind? You can't access any application using private IP using public internet, right? So any application that we want to allow to be accessed publicly, in that case, we have to assign public IP only, right? So this application, this is for example, Facebook application, Facebook, right? You have assigned this particular IP address, and port number for Facebook is 443, right? Get it, mind? So now this person, for example, this particular system is accessing Facebook, right? Once you access the Facebook, your request will go to the router. Router will route the information, route the data packet, then it hit to the, for example, you just type facebook.com, right? Then hit to the firewall. Firewall will check IP address is not blacklisted and port number 443 is allowed for everyone. In that case, because firewall will not have access to the data part. Yes or no? It will allow, and resulting, once it will run on the application, you'll get the facebook.com page. Right? Now there might be possible that attacker may include some malicious command here. Some malicious command, some deletion command, some modification command on the database. Yes or no? In this case, again, the request will go to the firewall. Firewall will check the source IP, destination IP, which not allow, but this IP address is not blacklisted. It's not a part of ACL of the firewall, right? But attacker has added malicious request command on the data part, right? But firewall will not be able to check, and resulting it will allow successfully, because firewall does not, because it's coming from legitimate source. This particular IP address is not at all blacklisted. In that case, firewall will permit the traffic, right? But data part actually contain the malicious information, malicious code, malicious script, which will resulting running on the application, and application will run further on the database to delete, modify, manipulate the database, or to gather some critical information from the database, right? In this case, you can see that even you have the network security firewall, still you are not secure. Your network is not secure, because attacker might use new IP address, which is not at all blacklisted as of now, resulting your data will be compromised, even though we have the firewall. Yes or no? Because firewall is work on the layer 3, layer 4. It can protect your network from layer 3, layer 4 attack, right? But not layer 7, right? The database, this contains layer 7, 5, 6, 7, right? This data. Yes or no? In this case, you can say firewall itself is not enough to secure our network. Yes or no? In this case, we should deploy another security control, which can secure our application on our data on the layer 7, 5, 6, 7. Means layer 7 generally we call as, right, which have access of the data packet. We can see, okay, what command is being run, and it is the malicious command or it is allowed. Yes or no? Understand? Clear, everybody? Right? So that particular device we call as, anybody knows, which secure the application?
Web
Called as WAF.
web
Name itself suggests.
Web application firewall.
Correct. The name itself suggests WAF means web application firewall. Web application firewall. Like again, it is a firewall, but it's a web application firewall. First thing is work on the application layer, not on the network layer, right? That means it has the accessibility on the data part, right? And second thing, it is mainly for web application. Normal traffic, you are sending an email or people are accessing any website, normal traffic will not go through WAF. Only application traffic will go through WAF. Whenever any people outside accessing any application inside, that traffic will go through the WAF. All other normal traffic will not go through the WAF, right? So let me subdivide where you will have the WAF deployed in your network. Let me tell you, web application we are only deploying for web application firewall means WAF. We are only deploying for the web application. For example, you have a normal your internal zone here, where you have other systems, right? Now, you know what happens in the companies? Your network will have multiple zones. Depend on the accessibility, your network will be subdivided in multiple zones. There won't be a single network that requires internal. All are internal network only, but it will be subdivided based on the accessibility and based on the what kind of data those devices, those servers are holding. Get it, man? Based on that, we divide our network into different zones. For example, this router now. This is switch, okay? Switch and switch. These devices are connected. 1 server, 2 server, 3 server. Get it, mind? So this, for example, this zone I will call as which zone?
DMZ.
What do you understand? You can see it here. Here in this system servers, I have assigned which IP address?
Public IP.
These systems I have assigned
Internal.
Private IP.
Why I have assigned public IP to these servers? Because I want what application hosted on this server should be accessible publicly. Yes or no? So any application
Yes.
which has to be accessible publicly should have the public IP address, right? And we keep those servers deployed in a particular network, particular zone. That zone we call as DMZ.
DMZ.
Demilitarized zone.
Demilitarized.
Here we call as this zone we call as DMG. DMZ or DMG. Demilitarized zone. Demilitarize. What we call as? You can see I am further deploying 1.4 firewall here. That is internal firewall. See, this firewall is on gateway, right? We call it gateway firewall or perimeter firewall. This firewall is again one more firewall, like the internal firewall, right? Why 2 firewall? You can see this what do you mean militarized zone? Militarized zone. Military campus you can't go, right? Only authorized people can
high
go
security.
inside. Yes or no? So it's the opposite of military. Demilitarized means anybody can go, anybody can access, right? That's right. This application is allowed to be accessed by anybody. means anybody from outside can go to your internal network. This whole internal network, right? Kind of internal network. They are allowed to go inside here. That's the reason this network called DMG zone, demilitarized network. That means demilitarized zone. That means outside people also can access this server. So any servers or any application that we allow people to access outside, we call a DMG zone, because in this zone outside people also are allowed. Means it's a demilitarized zone. Without military, outside people can also come inside. Understand? So these servers we call a DMG zone. Understand? Clear? Further, I have deployed this firewall called internal firewall because we have allowed people to come inside, cross this firewall. But there might be possible when they cross this firewall, they can try to go inside to our internal zone. This zone we call as internal zone. We call as internal zone. So as per the policy, people should be allowed to cross the firewall to go here to access this application, but not allowed to go inside. Right? So we will have another firewall. This firewall rule define that people can cross it and come here, right? But people can go inside. So we have more restrict rule here in this firewall, so that people should not cross this firewall. Only internal people can access. Only internal people can go outside and communicate. Unauthorized people should not come inside. So we have another firewall, right? You have gate on your home. You have gate in living room. But further, we have door on the on the bedroom, right? So it's a bedroom. People are allowed to come to till living room, but they are not allowed to go into your bedroom, right? So you have another door, another firewall, which have the rule that it will not allow to go inside. Get me? So this zone we call a DMG zone, demilitarized zone. Any application like Facebook, SIEM XPERT, or different application in the company, right, will be deployed in the DMG zone, demilitarized zone. People are allowed to go inside. That's the reason this zone we call a DMG zone. Can you understand? This zone we call internal zone. Similarly, based on the accessibility of data, right? Some company may have different, such as PCI zone. PCI zone means another zone you will have, right? Maybe you will have further switch, right? Then you have some more different systems that we call as PCI zone. PCI means, anybody knows what is full form of PCI?
Payment card industry.
Payment card information. Payment card industry.
Right. Payment card industry data. If your company working in the banking domain, banking field, right? So maybe server some applications which are holding credit card, debit card information. Yes or no? Your user ID, password of net banking, right? So these are very critical. So again, they will have a firewall, separate firewall, which will have more critical, more narrowed rule. Even internal people should not be able to access. Only some authorized people should be able to access, right? So again, you have another firewall which segregate your internal network with DMG network. DMG means directly user ID, password, directly money, right? So those are very private, very critical, confidential information. Those are holding as per the compliance requirement. That zone should be separated, should not be mixed with your internal network, and these people itself should not be able to access it. Only authorized people should be should be able to access. Get it? That zone we call a DMG zone. Every segregation there will be a firewall. So this firewall we call a PCI firewall. You might have another zone, PII. PII zone. PII means PII.
Personal information.
Personal information. Personal identification information such as your name, right? Your contact number, your Aadhaar number, PAN card number, SSN number, USA Social Security number, right? So these information are called as PII. So these information also critical, should not go in the wrong hand, right? So should be confidential. So maybe your company may have another zone with another strict rule on the firewall called as PII zone, right? So network can be subdivided in different zone, right? This zone we call as DMG zone. So any application that you give outside access, we call it DMG zone, right? All your website application will be hosted on DMG only. Understand? And those applications will have public IP. Generally, this application will have public IP so that people can access from outside. but internal people also need to do some changes, some management. So this application may have private IP also and public IP also. Using private IP, people can access from inside. Outside, people will access through public IP address. Got in mind? So web application firewall is actually to secure this DMG application that you have, because internally we need not to secure, right? Attacker will come from outside, right? So to secure the application which are there on the DMG zone, right? Of course. So here, see, so web application firewall will not be here in the other network. Will be just before the web application. Get in mind? So here, for example, you have switch. You have applications here, web application. Right? So here somewhere you have application firewall. Got it, fine? All other traffic will bypass through WAF because WAF is here, not on the main network like other firewall, right? So whatever traffic is coming towards this application will go through the WAF, right? WAF will not open layer 3, layer 4 information because it's already have a firewall, network security firewall. WAF will open layer 7 information, right? And check the data part, what command is being run, right? Again, it will have an ACL, dynamic and static. Get in mind? Dynamic means it will be updated to the vendor. There are multiple vendors of WAF, such as some of the famous, everybody knows, some of the famous vendor.
Cloudflare.
हाँ, बाराकूड़ा की स्पेलिंग क्या होती है यार? डबल तो कुछ डबल सी है, डबल आर कुछ तो है, बाराकूड़ा है शायद. बाराकूड़ा you have famous. Fortinet, हाँ, Fortinet. इम्परवा भी है फेमस. इम्परवा बहुत फेमस है.
EFI.
WebSense. So these are some of the popular, there are so many other vendors nowadays, but these are some of the popular vendor for the WAF, right? WAF will come as a part of software also and hardware also, right? So these are some of the, so again, your WAF will have the dynamic and static ACL. Dynamic will be updated by the vendor as part of cloud, and static you can manipulate, you can create the policy yourself. Got it, mind? So sometimes you will see, right? Sometimes you see, for example, you access some applications, some web application you access, right? You enter 2-3 times wrong password, right? After that, it will ask you, it will start giving the CAPTCHA. It will identify that somebody is trying to do the brute force, maybe possible. It will start giving the CAPTCHA. That CAPTCHA will come from WAF. It has the feature also to give the CAPTCHA to identify this is not a brute force. So this WAF, SQL injection attack, cross-site scripting attack, right? DOS, DDoS, right? These all are call as application layer of attack. DOS, DDoS, right? Your cross-site scripting attack, SQL injection attack, right? These are the web application attack. Means these application will be targeted using those attack. Get it, man? These are web application attack, right? Homework for you is you go through OWASP top 10. OWASP top 10 application layer of attack. OWASP top 10. This is very famous interviewer also asked. You go through this OWASP top 10. OWASP top 10. OWASP is non-profit organization.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
OWASP top 10.
Sorry, sir. What top 10? What it is? OWASP. What top 10?
Is this the only question? OWASP top
10, right? What is
web
OWASP
application?
top 10 attack? OWASP top 10 attacks or vulnerabilities. OWASP top 10 attack, you right? OWASP top 10 attack. So OWASP is non-profit organization which does the research. What are the top 10 attacks performed last year for application? For web application, what are the top 10 attack has been performed, has been done last year, right? They release this report. right? Interviewer ask also what are the top 10 attacks, right? Cross-site scripting, SQL injection, right? DDoS. These are always, most of the time you'll see every year, this comes under OWASP top 10. Understand? So that is a homework for you. Some of the like cross-site scripting, DDoS, SQL injection, these are important. So you go through it, and some of the other attack also, but you should know what are the top 10, what are the attacks which are included in OWASP top 10 application attacks. Understand? Go through it. You have time. Go through it because that is important from interview perspective.
Log4j also application attack or which attack?
Log4j was vulnerability. Log4, I'm not sure if it's being, last year it was very famous. Actually, I created a video. I created a video on YouTube last year, I think.
Log4j, yes.
It is there, Log4j vulnerability. But I think it is not being asked now because it is become old, right? So maybe some of the interview may ask. So if you want to prepare, I have a very good video on YouTube. Log4j vulnerability. Log4j vulnerability. Vulnerability means it weaknesses, right? It a weakness is present. So it's not a homework, but if you want to prepare, if you have time, you can prepare. Just listen once. My video is there in the YouTube, right? But it is not frequently being asked nowadays. When the vulnerability come last years, it was very popular. Every interview it is being asked. So I have created the video for that. Okay, so that is the WAF which secure your application from from web application attacks, right? So you know what happens? There are some devices are coming nowadays. We call next generation firewall, NGFW. NGFW, we call it next generation firewall. Next generation firewall. Next generation firewall is single box, single device, will have multiple features such as your firewall feature, web feature, email gateway, network antivirus, VPN. With multiple devices that we are going to talk about now. Also, it has multiple features. Single device, right? But in enterprise network, you will see we'll have separate device for separate feature, right? So why do you think? Because now next device I'll be talking about like email gateway, proxy, your antivirus. We'll be talking about IPS IDS. So different network security devices, but next generation firewall will have multiple such features. In single device only, you buy next generation firewall, deploy it here, you can achieve all the features, right? But in the corporate network and the enterprise network, you will see separate device for proxy, separate device for IPS, separate device for firewall, separate device for web. So what is the reason why big companies, enterprise companies are not going for next generation firewall? Because again, the cost single device cost will be less, manageability will be also less. Now you have different devices, different people who manage it. Yes or no? Higher management cost, as well as higher deployment cost and higher the device cost. So what do you think that? Why big companies are not going with this one? However, there are many research is happening. Many companies many vendors are doing the research so that we can deploy one single box for all the features. There are many research are going on because it's actually including the higher management cost, deployment cost, because different devices, different team, different people to manage, higher the cost, right? So research are going on so that they can make a single device. So what do you think that as of now, why companies are not going with single device? Why they deploy multiple devices instead? However, we can achieve the same feature, but why?
If one device compromised, then internal company will be at risk, I think.
And they cannot depend on one device completely.
Sir, high traffic on the single device.
Right. All of you are correct. One is single point of failure. If any device is down, for example, some problem is down, means full open network. Second thing, a device is compromised, again open network. Single device, if any vulnerability present, right, in a device, all the functionality, it will get bypass. But if you have multiple different devices, maybe this device is not captured, this device may capture, this device may capture, this device may capture. Multiple security control you have. But if you have one device only, one device compromised, full network open. Yes or no? And also, as you mentioned, throughput of the device means particular device box will have its own capacity, right? If we enable all the features, maybe the device may not be able to perform. If you give multiple higher number resources also, if able to perform it also, but single point of failure is one of the main concern. Yes or no? And single point of compromise. That is the reason big company may not go with this firewall, this next generation firewall. But a small SME kind of companies may go for it, right? Because SME kind of companies, small and medium scale industry cannot handle the cost of all the different devices. As well, management cost will be higher, right? So they can buy one device and they can enable all the features. Get it mind? So in our lab also we have Fortinet next generation firewall. We have Fortinet next generation firewall where we have multiple features, firewall features, we have proxy feature, we have email gateway feature, we have IPS ID feature inbuilt on the Fortinet next generation firewall. But here also we have enabled only two features. One is firewall, other is VPN. Two feature. I'll tell you what is VPN in the later part. So firewall and VPN, only two features we have enabled here. Get it mind? So that is WAF. Now let's move about another device. Now you understand that you have the firewall on the gate, right? Every traffic, see, firewall is the device. Firewall is the device that every inbound and outbound, all traffic will go through the firewall, will filter out through firewall. Other security devices may not come in the picture in all the communication, but firewall is the device, is the only device which communicate, which intercept the packet, either all incoming traffic, either it's web application related or email related or web web access related, right? Whatever communication happen, most of the time the firewall come in the picture and filter the traffic, right? So now we talk about the web. Now you understand that as I mentioned, attackers are very intelligent. Attackers are very intelligent. They always find out the new way to penetrate the network, right? Now attacker, you can see attacker has used this particular IP address 199.0.2.100, right? Get it mean? So attacker has a plan. So it's a new IP address, not blacklisted. The new IP address not blacklisted, right? So attacker now has sent an email. Attacker has sent an email, right? The source IP will be this IP address, right? Destination IP address will be the user IP, for example, IP address, right? So now, what is the port number when user send an email? What is the port number?
25.
35. 25.
25.
Who said 35? Somebody says 35 or 25? 25, right? Header and data, right? Once this particular person has sent an email, right? Packet will hit to the router, right? Router will check what is source IP destination IP and allow the route the packet. It hit to the router, hit to the firewall. Firewall will check what is the source IP, this particular source IP, and what is the destination port 25 port number, right? Ideally, your company will accept anyone sending an email, will accept it, right? If IP address is not blacklisted, 25 port number traffic is allowed for everyone. It will not be blocked, right? Any company cannot block port number 25. Yes or no? It will be allowed for all destinations, all users. Yes or no? Now it will only check what is source IP, whether it's blacklisted or not. This IP address is not blacklisted. Resulting, firewall will allow the email and the email will deliver to particular user. For example, the email ravi@SIEMXpert.com will receive the email, but it was actually a phishing email. It was actually a phishing email, right? The email has an attachment which look like legitimate email that you have got a job offer from Tata Communication, right? Email has been delivered. Now this person Ravi may not be from security, may not be technical, may not be aware, may not be having basic security awareness, right? And on the excitement, he was not aware, he opened that email, right? It was a malicious software, means malware. Malware has been installed, right? Now it can create a backdoor. Now you understand, right? What are the different type of malware, what all things can be done, can do the brute force, can create the botnet, crypto mining, data filters, anything can be done, right? So now in this case, you understand that even though we have the firewall, We have WAF also, but WAF will not come in the picture. Why WAF will not come in the picture now? Why traffic is not going through WAF?
So the port number is different.
Yes, because web application will only intercept traffic which are coming on port number 80 and 443 by default. However, if your application is deployed in some other port number, it can accept, but majority of application will be 80 and 443, right? And it is just before the application. Yes or no? So WAF is for application traffic, right? This port number is 25. It's an email traffic, not an application traffic. So WAF will not intercept that packet. Understand? So it will go through the firewall, but all the traffic will go through the firewall. It gone through the firewall, email had been delivered, and resulting system has been compromised. Now we understand, even though we have the firewall, we have the WAF, still our network is not secure in case attacker may use any new IP address. Yes or no? Understand? So in this case, for email security, we have another device which we call as what we call as
Email
gateway.
email gateway or email security appliance. Email security appliance, right? It can be hardware, software, right? There are multiple vendors. Some of the vendors who are very famous, such as, which is the one of the famous vendor? Everybody knows?
Cisco.
Proofpoint.
Cisco Iron Port. Proofpoint email gateway also very famous. Proofpoint. Cisco Iron Port, Proofpoint, right? So these are some of the famous vendor. Got it? Clear? So this is some of the famous vendor. Now what happens is email gateway will intercept the traffic on which port number? 25. Right? Email traffic 25 means email traffic. What happens is, for example, you have deployed the email gateway. Let's say this is the email gateway. Okay. Let's say this is the email gateway, Cisco Iron Port email gateway. You bought this email gateway from Cisco. So once you deploy email gateway, right, it will communicate, it will be connected to Cisco cloud. Yes or no? Cisco cloud, Cisco R&D team is sitting here. Cisco R&D team, Cisco cloud team will do the research, right? Which all email IDs, domains are involved in sending phishing email, spam email, malware email. Yes or no? Understand? So this team will do the research and collect the information and categorize those information. In the email gateway, you'll have default categories such as spam, phishing, right? Malware, spoofed, right? What is email spoofing? This is the homework for you. You have my video on YouTube. What is email spoofing? What is DKIM record? What is SPF record? Right? I have explained in the video. Very important. What is SPF and DKIM? Email spoofing. Email spoofing. Spoofed email, right? Email spoofing. The process we call as email spoofing. In this case, you know what happens? My mail ID is sulabh@simexpert.com, right? Only I am authorized, right? SIEMXPERT.com belongs to our company. Only our company employees are authorized to send an email with using SIEMXPERT domain, right? But there are ways people outside can spoof our domain and can send using sulabh@siemexpert.com also can send an email right away. Anybody working here? Maybe some working with Wipro, right? For example, your name is Sachin, right? You're working on Wipro, Sachin@wipro.com is your email ID. Right away, within few minutes only, I can send an email with your email ID. Get a mind? I used to do I used to do it before, and just to make the people fool. Just when I started my job and all, that time, there were not much security solution that time. 10, 12 years back, right? That time, to my friend, I used to send offer letter to make them fool with the company's email ID, different companies' email ID, right? So that emails we call as spoof email. If someone else send email with your email ID, means domain name and email ID, means full using domain. SIEM XPERT you're working on, Ravi@siemexpert.com is your email ID, but someone else has sent an email using your email ID. Yes or no? That call as not mute. Lot of noise. Vinod, you're not listening to the class. If someone else send an email using your email ID, that process called as email spoofing. This is not a legitimate email. This is spoofed email we call as, and this process called as email spoofing. Right? So there are ways to identify whether the email is legitimate or it's a spoofed email. Some record such as DKIM, SPF, right? Using that, your email gateway have the SPF DKIM process, using which you can identify whether it's a spoofed email or legitimate email. Full process I have explained on that video, how we can verify our email gateway or any device can verify whether it's spoofed or it's a legitimate, right? Nowadays, if I'm sending that email from company email ID, it goes under spam category. It delivers under spam category also, right? So, Vinod, I'll remove you from the meeting. Okay. I don't know why it is unmuting himself. I muted him again, he's unmuting. So, what I was telling? Spoofed email, right? That email is spoofing email. We used to get many such emails before, long back, but nowadays security solutions are very strong, right? You rarely see such emails, spoofed email, right? Because of introducing this DKIM, SPF and all, it is difficult because this security solution can easily verify that it's a spoof email and can block it, right? So here you'll have different categories: spoof category, spam category, right? Phishing means look like legitimate, but it is generally to get your critical information, right? It may have email will look like legitimate. It may have URL, right? To click on the link and submit some information. It may have attachment which you can download and can infect your machine, can compromise machine. That is a malware attachment. That email we call phishing email. Spoofed email means same email ID, your email ID only, attacker can use and send an email to some other companies. That is called spoofed email ID. Spoofed email, mail spoofing or spoofed email. Spam email. What do you mean by spam? Is spam email are spam email harmful or not harmful? What do you mean by spam email?
It's coming in bulk, like marketing emails, promotions.
What do you mean by spam emails?
Unwanted emails.
Unsolicited marketing emails, right? Something you have not subscribed, you have never visited a website, you have never given information, but unnecessarily emails are coming, flooding of message, regular basis they are sending email. It's a spam for you. If I have visited some company or created account, if I am getting those regular updates, that is fine. It's not a spam for me because I have given myself the information. But you have not subscribed anything and continually messages are coming, emails are coming. Spam can be email also, can message also, spam calls also. Yes or no? You have not subscribed, you have not contacted, you have not given the confidential information, and unnecessarily they're calling you, they're messaging you, they're emailing you. That is called a spam. If they are contacted using email, that is called spam emails. Understand? Phishing, spam, spoofed. Yes or no? Right?
Sir, I have a question here.
Yes.
Sir, so actually, sir, I mean, most of the time, like we can see randomly, we are sending the email, like to a candidate or something. So sometimes it is directly going to the, we can say the in the main message, but sometimes it is landing into the spam. So why it is happening? Is it particular reason?
Let me tell you that. Same as your Truecaller. Same as your Truecaller. He's saying that sometime when I am sending email, for some people, sometimes it goes on the inbox and sometimes it goes on the spam category. It is depend on the device that you are using, the mail device they are using. What happens is, for example, in Gmail, once you receive an email, after receiving, on the top sometime, if not in top, you have 3 dots. After emails on the right hand side, you have 3 dots. If you click on these 3 dots, some option will open. Report as spam, report as phishing. Yes or no? If you report such email as spam, phishing, right, it will flag as phishing on the Gmail for Gmail. If along with you, there are several people has also reported that email phishing, then Gmail will categorize your email ID or sometime domain also under phishing category. Get mind? Spam category. If you report a spam category. Then see, all the research companies generally, distribute the data to each other. Yes or no? They help each other. Okay, you help me, I'll help you. Right? So the various sources, they collect the information. Right? So generally you see some email which are being used to send bulk emails. Generally they are categorized as spam, and generally those email coming on the spam categories. Why? Because they used to send many emails, and if you send 100 email, out of 100, 15 user or 20 users, reported as spam. It may be bad as spam because you send 100 emails, but another person sending 10 emails only, out of 10, 2 people reported, it will not be reported. So that is the reason, if you send many emails, there are more probability to report such emails. That is the reason which are the email ID which are being used to send multiple emails, bulk emails are being reported most. And those emails mostly are being delivered in the spam category. Now it depends. If your email ID, for example, Cisco email ID, Cisco, if Cisco has a tie-up with email and collecting such information, Cisco also will categorize under spam. And once you send an email, it will delivered under the spam category. Understand? Because Cisco also got an information that particular domain is falls under a particular email ID, falls under spam category. Sometimes they will see the activity of same domain, multiple email ID, the same spam category, phishing category reported. Then this email companies, such a company can categorize spam whole domain itself. Most of the time, particular email ID will be listed as spam, but sometimes domain itself may be listed as spam or phishing categories if multiple such emails has been used with the same domain. Understand? So you see the calls also, right? You're getting, once you see the call, Truecaller will spam call, red color, spam call. Why? Because you guys, multiple such people like you have reported Truecaller, this is spam call, spam call, spam call. And now finally Truecaller also categorizes spam only, right? Let's say your number is going a spam number, right? It's good thanks to Truecaller. Thanks to Truecaller in this way that whenever we receive the call, we see spam, then we disconnect the call. We do not pick up the call, right? So nowadays, so many numbers from 011 in India, right? 011 spam calls, right? Because many people have reported a spam call. Got it? So now, how email gateway will assist us by safeguarding our network from spam, phishing, malware, emails, right? What happens is the research team does the research, which all the domains or email ID are involved in such categories, and they'll create the category information here, spam, and all the emails which are falls under that category, they will add under spam, phishing, malware, such categories. Yes or no? We'll have multiple such categories, and they will have list of such emails and domain. So any emails coming in, if that particular email ID or domain falls under that category, it will block the email on the gateway itself. It will block you will have separate, for example, spam category spam, phishing, spoofed, right? Malware, something like that. The spam category, there are 100 email has been blocked. Phishing category, 90 email, right? 50 email, 10. If you log in the email gateway, whatever email has been blocked, right? You'll see spam category 100 email have blocked. Phishing category 20 has been blocked. So any emails coming from those domain, those email ID will be blocked under these categories. And these categories will have the list of email ID. If they falls under that, so how many email ID falls under that blocked? And you can see the number, how many has been blocked. Yes or no? And it has certain retention period. It has certain retention period here. Sometime it may happen false positive also. False positive means those are legitimate email sent by some vendor, but it has been blocked and not delivered to the user. So user can reach out to the team saying that team, my vendor has sent an email, but we have not received. So once email has been blocked on the gateway, right? Your receiver will notify. The receiver will be notified saying that an email came from this particular domain to you, and this is the subject line. If you think that that email is legitimate, you can reach out to Security Operations Center, or email ID or phone number will be written. So they can reach out to email security team saying that this email came from this particular, this is a legitimate email. We can review ourselves, or open that email, review ourselves what data it contains. Yes or no? And based on the information, we can release or we can delete what is actually the malicious. Yes or no? And this will have certain retention period. The email gateway will have certain retention period. If you're not deleting or not releasing, maybe after 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, it will delete it automatically. The blocked or quarantine email. Because quarantine, right? Quarantine is why I'm not calling block. I'm calling it quarantine because it will hold for specific days. Get it? It's a quarantine, and a quarantine can be released also, right? That's why we use the word quarantine. The emails will get quarantined under the specific category. Now you will have the email gateway analyst, security analyst like SOC people, right? Who are assigned to monitor the email gateway. So we'll have dedicated set of people who will monitor the email gateway 24/7. Because email gateway do not filter only inbound traffic, it filters outbound traffic also. So many times inbound, outbound email gateway will quarantine here, right? And many of the times business email will also falls under that category, false positive, right? So winning the war does not make any sense if many people has been died. Yes or no? Securing the network does not make any sense if your business is being impacted. Business means availability. Availability means your sources are not available. CIA we have to follow, right? CIA, right? You're securing the network, but business communication is not happening, right? So we have to ensure that we have to maintain the availability. That's the reason we have security analysts will monitor the email gateway 24/7. They will check which email is legitimate, which not email legitimate, because we are working on a daily basis here. We have already contacted teams to verify if any email, for example, is suspected. We can verify if it is outbound email. We can verify the user that we have seen that you have sent this particular email to this particular email ID. Let us know what is the business justification, to whom you are sending, why you are sending. Right? Next time, if we see such emails, such a domain, maybe we understand because we do it on a daily basis, we may release such emails. Yes or no? So dedicated set of people will monitor the email gateway to ensure that the business email should be released. Yes or no? And also we can catch the people who are sending some critical information outside. So this email gateway does not only monitor inbound email, but also monitor outbound. घर का भेदी लंका ढाए, हिंदी में कहावत है, घर का भेदी लंका ढाए. That means, what I'm saying is, the person means we have to secure a network for insider threat. That we call insider threat, right? Insider threats are more problematic, right? The reason had all the information about Ravan and Lanka. Yes or no? So because of that only, right, all this happened, right? So because he has all the information. Similarly, insider threat, 72% attacks compromise are initiated by the internal threat or with the help of internal threat. Internal threat means internal employee, where internal employee can give some critical information outside. some program, some new launch is happening, new design is, you are developing new design. He may give the design to attack to the outside competitor. It's again a compromise, right? Attack does not mean that attacker will come from outside and he will steal your money, steal your user ID password. It will not like that. Any information, any critical sensitive information should not go in the wrong hand. That will call as compromise. User information, employee salary, all compromise. Yes or no? All we call as compromise, all we call as attack only. Any information which harms your business, which violates CIA, we call as attack. Confidentiality, data should be confidence. If data is no more confidential, that we call as attack. If any resource is no more available, we call as attack. Yes or no? Understand? If data is being changed, we call as attack. Right? It's not something we want to steal your money, then an attack. Right? Anything impact CIA, we call as cyber attack. Yes or no? So insider threat means internal employees can send some critical information over the email outside. Yes or no? Competitors, he can take some money from the competitor and can send some design, some program which is being developed. Big business impact, right? Before your company launch some design, some project, other company attacker may take the benefit and can launch it before. It's a big, big loss. So being a cyber security team, we should not monitor our network from outside the threat, but we also have to monitor and secure from inside the threat, where we see the majority of attacks are happening through internal people, either intentionally or unintentionally. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. Unintentionally means you receive an email, phishing email, look like legitimate, and you ended up entering your user ID password on that link. You ended up giving some company critical information. That is unintentional. Intentional means you have taken some money and given the information. Intentional. Yes or no? Intentional is a big offense. Unintentional, if repeat multiple times, repeating mistake multiple times is a crime. Single mistake is a mistake, but repeating mistake is a crime, right? But intentionally doing it, it's a crime in the first offense only. Yes or no? So we can monitor, we can set up a rule here in the email gateway. What kind of people can send an email outside, which all domain they can send, right? Generally, we will allow that email people can send an email to, to a business domain only, like SIEM XPERT.com or other domain, business domain. They should not be able to send to the personal domain, or they are sending email to personal domain, should be quarantined by the email gateway, should be reviewed by the analyst, and then only should be released. Yes or no? Because sometimes you need to send an email to Gmail also. Yes or no? You're sending ITR, you're sending Form 16, salary slips and all. Yes or no? In that case, you can make a policy that anybody sending email to the external domain should be quarantined. Any Gmail, Hotmail, public domain, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, right? Should be or also email gateway having also antivirus engine. Whenever email has been received or sent, email gateway have the antivirus network level of network antivirus. It will scan the attachment for any virus or malwares. So you can create various policies. What should be subject line, what content, what attachment, right? Should be allowed, should be quarantined. Various policy you can create yourself. For inbound or outbound emails. For example, exe setup file, exe file extension. If anybody is sending an email with exe file extension, should be quarantined in the email gateway. Maybe sending some application. Any email coming with exe domain should be quarantined. Maybe it's a malware, installable file. Yes or no? So analyst will do the monitoring, will do the investigation review, then they will allow or delete. Understand? So in this way, if you have email gateway, we can regulate our email traffic. Yes or no? We can regulate that email, like malware email, phishing email, spoofed email should not be delivered. Spam should not be delivered. Yes or no? We can safeguard our network from external threat as well as from internal threat by monitoring their traffic, what communication they are doing. We can create a policy here. The email will get quarantined and we can review such emails. There are many signs. When I started my career, I was working for product-based company, right? So we have multiple. We have SIEM, we have proxy, antivirus, email gateway, firewall. That's the beauty of product-based company, because product-based company will not have different team for different devices. So we'll have big team, and those team only will work on all security tools. So we used to distribute. Okay, today I'm working on the email gateway. Today you work on the firewall. Today you work on the antivirus. Today you work on the proxy. Today you work on the emails only, email monitoring. If any email is coming from the user asking this website is not accessible, or they need some certain security review approval, right? So there are multiple tasks. So we used to see a lot of communication outside, where email getting, so we have seen multiple such incident. One of the user from server team, the part of server administrator, he sent more than 100 Windows license, Windows operating system license, he sent to his personal email ID. Mail has been caught on the email gateway. It's an incident, right? It's a violation of policies. Whenever you join any company, right, big companies, there are some mandatory training and certification that you have to do. Those are compliance requirement. Out of those training, one of the self-paced training, whenever you join any company, within 10-15 days, you have to finish those trainings. Many trainings are security awareness trainings, and user computing policies, right? Workplace policies, many such trainings you will have in the company, which you have to complete. After that, there is a quiz exam also. That means why exam? And you have to pass those exams to ensure that you have watched those training carefully, seriously. Then only you'll be able to write the exam. Once you complete the training and write the exam and pass the exam, that means you have gone through the training and you are aware of the policy now. Yes or no? While you're aware of the policy, you know the policy, still if you violate the policy, it's a policy violation, it's a crime. It's not a mistake, because you done the training, written the exam, passed the exam. After, still if you're repeating such offense, it's not a mistake, it's an offense, and you will be punished. One of the policy we call end user computing policy in the company. Name can be different companies, but that we call as end user computing policies. As per the end user computing policies, companies' electronics media assets, internet should be used only for company purpose, business purpose, not for the personal purpose. And all company sensitive, critical information, classified information should not be sent outside without permission.
Acceptable use policy.
That's a end user computing policy, but different company may give little different name. Yes or no? So in this case, user has sent 100 Microsoft operating system licenses to his email ID, right? That's a big offense. So he got the policy violation number 3, means direct termination. He got terminated on the same day. So what we used to do is, whenever you send an email, we have any doubt, we'll reply, we'll attach email gateway. We can download the actual email. We'll download and we'll send new email for business justification. We'll mark him, we'll ask the justification from him, marking his manager on the email gateway, as well as security team manager. Team, we have seen, hello, Ravi, we have seen that you have send this particular email ID having this particular attachment, having this data. You send to the personal email ID, please let us know what is the business justification, why you have sent this information. We have marked his manager also. Means sometimes business email, business data, we might not be aware. We are a technical person, right? But if you mark their manager better understand whether this information go out or not. Yes or no? So his manager will communicate it. And so policy number 1, 2, 3. 3 means direct termination. It is based on severity, based on the severity of the incident. High severity critical means direct termination, and policy violation was used to be given by the HR. HR will give the policy violation means direct termination, same day. If least offense, for example, you're sending some information to some communication is happening, which is less severe, policy number 1. Repetitive same violence, policy number 2, and last is 3. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 1 by 1, might be third directly. One of the offense that we have seen, one of the senior manager, has sent an email to his personal email ID. I was there at that time. I only raised this concern, and the attachment name was project data, and it was password protected. So if anything is password protected, we cannot open it. and email gateway also cannot scan it. Any encrypted data, antivirus cannot scan it, right? That time also it will get quarantine. That particular email has been sent to Gmail, his personal email ID, and attachment was project data, it got quarantine. I was not able to open, but name was project data. Even when he was senior manager of the company, particular department. It's a big MNC. So that person was working as senior manager in one of the department. I casually asked, like how we asked, he was reporting VP, vice president, particular department. I sent an email to him that, please share business justification by marking his, his manager who was VP. After half an hour, we received a call from HR director. HR director, human resource director, our manager has picked up the call. He called to our manager to the call. The manager asked me, Sudhab, did you send an email regarding email policy, something? I said, yes, this was the case. He said that person has been terminated from the company. That person has been terminated from the company within half an hour. He has been terminated from the company. What happened in the background? What happened on the background? When I sent an email, he and his manager, who is vice president, sitting on the same floor, right? He called the manager, who is VP, called his floor. He asked for password, the particular attachment. And once he opened it, he found the data, the information was classified information, very sensitive and critical information that should not go out of the company. And he has sent that information with bad intention. That is critical information. Everybody knows that. That should not go on the other side, right? And at the same time, that person VP has called to HR director and asked him to terminate. Take the higher action, immediate action. Within half an hour, he has been terminated, and HR director called to SOC team and asked them to disable all his account, all his access to the network, and within half an hour has been terminated. So that is the severity of security incident, right? The person was there in the company since last 13 years. Since last 13 years, he was working with the same company, has been terminated the same day within half an hour. These are critically of security offenses, right? Cyber security is very critical. So many such offenses we used to see. People are talking on the emails, chatting on the email with boyfriend, girlfriend, they're chatting because that company was a banking company, right? In banking company, they will not allow you to carry your mobile inside. They will not allow to carry the notebook. They will not allow to talk over phone. People will submit their phone to security locker. Now, how they can chat? They used to use emails for chatting purpose, right? Sometimes they use any abuse word or any other words, right? The email gateway will get stuck in the email gateway. Then you can read the whole story. Then you laugh. What happened yesterday? What happened day before yesterday? Sometimes they used to share the pics also, which used to get stuck. Sometimes it was very laughing moment. So if you have such kind of security controls where people cannot send such information outside, right? The email gateway itself is not enough. There are multiple sources. From there, people can get it. Such one is email, another is through USB, they can take it. And third thing, using website, through Google, through Gmail. If they access email through Gmail, email gateway will not come in the picture. Email gateway will only filter the traffic which is coming to the company domain, company email ID. They can use Gmail, Hotmail, they can use Google Drive, Box.com, pCloud, and upload the data, Google Drive, upload the data, right? So if you are considering our information is very critical, should not go outside without permission, right? We should implement such security controls. Means we should not have any loopholes, right? People can use, for example, right now I'm talking email gateway. People can upload on Google Drive. Yes or no? People can take the USB on pen drive. They can take the backup. Yes or no? Pen drive they can insert and take the backup, right? Take the copy, right? So we have to ensure that if we are considering this critical information, we should block all such things, such access. We have to regulate such access so that people should not misuse. Yes or no? Understand? So that is about the email gateway, right? So you'd have dedicated, so email gateway will record the activities, right? What email came, which email ID, which email ID been sent, whether it's been delivered or been quarantined. At what time email has received and delivered? What was the subject line? What was the what was the attachment name? See, whenever email received and got stuck quarantine here, means email has not been delivered. You can see the actual email, real email on the email gateway. You could download also with attachment. But in case email just delivered the email, it's not quarantine here, it has been delivered. In that case, you cannot see the actual copy of the email here. You can see on the logs, which particular source email ID, which particular email ID has been delivered, what is the source IP address, right? And what time it has been delivered, to whom it has been delivered, what is subject line, what is attachment name. This information you can see in the form of logs element on the email gateway. Understand? So this is the email gateway that we use to secure our network from email-based attack or insider threat. Phishing email, spoof email, spam emails, we can safeguard, right? Because they're updating the information real time. As and when will such company will get such information, they will update on the email gateway in the real time. Understand? Clear? Any confusion? Any confusion?
Like most of the organization use Outlook, right? In my organization as well.
Right.
So when we used to send certificates, like it gets blocked. So I'm just asking, like, there is any like email gateway managed by Outlook, or does our organization manage it?
Right. The Outlook is. अरे क्या हो गया ये कि कौन शेयर करने लगा भाई स्क्रीन ये एक तो कोई कैमरा भी शो कर रहा है 1 मिनट ना OMC so okay see Outlook is just a client. Outlook just a client to receive or send an email. Means Outlook is here just an application using which you access email, right? But application, once you Outlook send an email, it will go through this only. Then here there is an email gateway. So all the email comes to your Outlook and sent to your Outlook will go through this only. Yes or no? So it will be blocked by this device. Understand?
Sir, good morning.
That will be managed. That will be managed by organization, our organization, right? Or not by any Outlook.
Depends.
Employee.
Depends. If you are using Office 365, which is the cloud-based solution, Office 365. In that case, you can buy a cloud-based email gateway also to monitor such communication. Get it? Office 365 based on cloud, so you can have in-house also. Office 365, whatever communication happening through Outlook, it will intercept your in-house email gateway, or you can buy a cloud-based email gateway as well. Got it?
Okay, so it's kind of service. We can.
It can be a service if you're using cloud. It's a service.
Okay.
If you have your own device,
So, sir,
company, it's your own device. Yes, go ahead.
okay. I mean, you are saying that if we have taken like cloud services, so in that case, the cloud team will take care of that.
Sorry, sir, come back.
Yeah, sir, are you getting my question? My question is actually, I mean, like you said, like if you are taking, I mean, if your company has taken Office 365, right? So which is a cloud service, right? So in that case, the cloud the cloud team will take care of the email. We can say safeguard, something like that.
For that, you have to learn cloud, that SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, infrastructure as service. Infrastructure as service, software as service, and platform as service. Generally, Office 365, all other applications are SaaS, software as service. That means you're using such software, you don't have to manage. The cloud team will manage. You have to pay as you use. How much you use, based on that you have to pay. You don't have to manage. But in the cloud, there are multiple models, right? Infrastructure model, infrastructure as a service. That means you get one server, use RAM, how much you're buying. So the server will be managed by the cloud team. You configure server, application you install, application operating system you have to manage yourself. That is called IaaS. Platform as a service. You deploy application, your operating system. Operating system will be managed by cloud. In server application, you don't have to manage. Server or operating system, you don't have to manage. What application you deploy, that you have to manage. That is called as platform as a service. Another is SaaS, software as a service. That means infrastructure is theirs, operating system is also managed by them, as well as software is also managed by them only. Application software is also managed by them only. So it's Office 365 or some other application like Sentinel SIM we have, right? Defender, right? These are comes under SaaS model. Means your infrastructure, your platform, operating system, application, all is managed by the cloud vendor. Which it is just a plug. You just have to use the service. How much you use, that much you have to pay. That is called a pay as you use model. Pay as you use, right? Cloud is kind of your cloud kitchen. These all devices you deploy in your own data center, own company. You have to manage all deployment, configuration. You have different teams, server management and all, right? That means if you have your own kitchen, you are working, right? Your wife is also working. You don't have time to buy the groceries, to cook your food, right? You open the app Swiggy and Zomato. Yes or no? Swiggy and Zomato and get the cooked food here, right? Yes or no? Cook food at your home whenever you want. You don't have to manage your kitchen. You don't have to buy the groceries. You don't have to clean the utensils. Nothing you have to do. Ready to eat. Ready to eat, right? But somewhere it is happening. Somewhere someone is cooking for you. Yes or no? You have some restaurant where they have big kitchen. They're cooking not only for you, but different, so many people at the same, that we generally call as cloud kitchen for you. It is cloud kitchen for us. Yes or no? One, they're managing everything, right? They cook and they will send to you. You just open and eat. Similarly, cloud is not in cloud. Cloud is not a cloud. Cloud is also a place, kind of your data center, but it's a bigger data center. Data center means where you have several network device security devices. They are big in many acres. Amazon cloud is one of the biggest cloud in the world. First and biggest cloud. Second is Azure, Microsoft Azure. So that is also kind of cloud kitchen. So people, both of you are working, right? So now we are ready to pay the cost. We don't want to manage who will cook here. Thak gaye tired. We are paying tired. Who will cook now? Who will buy the grocery? Who will buy the vegetables? Unnecessarily overhead. Then this Swiggy and Zomato, nowadays that's the reason they are very famous, right? Initially, they used to give some coupons and all. Now we are habitual. Even it is higher cost, you are still ordering. Yes or no? So, because you want to focus on your work, right? You don't want to focus on other things, management and other. That's why you use Swiggy and Zomato cloud kitchen. Yes or no? Similarly, cloud, big data center, because if you have your own devices deploy, manageability infrastructure, right? Management, troubleshooting, the resources are very time taking and headache. Yes or no? Instead of that, this company will tell that, and security, main thing is security, physical security. Physical security. This data center where you are holding the critical data devices should be also required tight physical security, right? So these companies are saying that you don't have to bother about it. You do your core business. We'll manage your network. We'll manage your infrastructure. We'll manage your servers. You just pay. How much you use, you pay. Whenever you need to increase the resources, just one click. Just click and add it. The bill will come at the end of the month. You not to go physically and add the RAM and CPU. One click only you can add, increase the CPU and memory. Everything will come on the bill. Once you come, bill will come, then you'll understand how much you have used, right? That we call as cloud. Now you see that many companies are moving towards cloud. Why? Because they don't want to take the headache. They are ready to pay money. Especially small companies. A small company is a good solution for small companies, because either you have 100 servers or 1,000 servers. Security, physical security, or this one is based on what kind of data you are handling. Some kind PCI data, this kind of data is very critical, right? So security is same only, right? So instead of 100 or 1,000, if you have 1,000 devices, okay, you have your own data center, you can manage security and everything. Big company, a small company is difficult for them to manage such servers and data centers, ACs and everything. So in that case, cloud is better solution for that. You have 2 people in the home. 2 people are in the home. You can easily order from Swiggy, Zomato. But what if you have 10 people? Yes, sir. It will be costly for you. Even you get some offer, buy 8, get 10. It will be costly. Similarly here also, if you have 1,000 devices, then on-premise solution will be better for you instead of cloud. Get I mean? If you have only 100 servers, then Cloud will be better for you. 2 लोगों का खाना बनाओ, 10 लोगों का खाना बनाओ, थोड़ा ही फर्क पड़ता है. If you cook food for 2 people, you have to go and curry and everything, right? Dal and everything. So that is the difference. I hope you have got understanding now. कितना मैस हो गया? So that is called as email gateway, right? Clear?
Sir, one doubt, sir. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
good.
I just want to know that how to block these hash values in firewall, sir.
No, hash
Because,
value you can't block. You can't block hash value in the firewall. You can block it on the antivirus.
Yes, sir. Since our antivirus doesn't have any real-time IOC blocking, sir, what we have, is there any other solution apart from antivirus?
Antivirus, or you can get the email gateway if through email. See, any device which does the file level of analysis, right? Like your email gateway. It may be your email gateway means it has antivirus only, right? Most of the time it will be your antivirus only, or EDR solution. EDR, it is the next version of antivirus only, right?
Yes, sir.
Endpoint level of device which intercept the file, which check the file, can understand the hash value. So different question पूछ रहे हो, diverting the topic, but let me tell you that hash value क्या है? Hash value. Hash value. What is hash value? What happens is, whenever you create any new file, Word file, Excel file, any file in your system, right? Through cryptographic mechanism, for example, you have created one created new file, Word file, and your Word file name is my data, right? You have enter some data and save the file. It's a Word file, my data dot Word का spelling क्या होता है? doc, right? Once you create new file, it will create one unique, it will generate one unique hash values. Unique hash value using cryptographic mechanism. Unique hash value, it will be around 16 digit, maybe STH0567 whatever. It's a alphanumeric. 6 digit. It's a 16 digit string. 16 digit. 16, 14 to 16. It depends on. So there are multiple. So it's a unique value. The SH means this hash value is a unique value. For example, my data docs. Once you send to someone, he's changed the name. Mradul data, Mradul file. He changed the name. Mradul file, right? Now he changed the file name Mradul file, but hash value of the file will remain same. Hash value will not get changed. So from hash value, you can identify the uniqueness of the file. That this file and this file both are same because both file hash values are same. Get it? If you do not modify the content of the file, just modify the name, hash value will be same. Get it? For example, I have sent something. If you modify, for example, my data, if you modify the file, hash value will get changed. Get it? So in that case, you send my data, I send my data to you, and when you checked, somebody checked on your file, hash value is different. That means file has been modified. If file content do not modify, hash value will remain same. Sometimes when you download some application on the internet, right? They will, along with the application, they will have SHA. So there are multiple ways, multiple technology you can say for hashing, such as SHA. You have MD5 cryptographic mechanism. There are multiple mechanisms for hashing. SHA. So when you create a file, right? It will create in using cryptographic mechanism. It will generate multiple hash values. One is using SHA, SHA-256, SHA-512, MD5. So any of the hash value you can use, but MD has to be different value. and MD file will have different value. But what you call as hash file only, hash value only. What happens, for example, sometimes you're downloading something from internet, some application, right? May possible that you download an application, while downloading, your speed of the internet was slow or connection got interrupted. You downloaded the application, but while you install, application did not work. Application did not work. You're thinking that application is not working. You report it to the vendor support that application is not working. But actually the problem was when you download the application, your connection was not stable and resulting some small file could not download, right? And resulting application could not work. Or maybe some change happened while you downloaded. That's the reason in this application while you're downloading, it gives the application to download as well as MD5 or SHA file to download. Means hash value also you download. Why we are downloading? Why they're asking to download application also and hash value also? Why? Because to ensure that the file which has been uploaded, you downloaded and you got the same file. So MD SHA value or MD file they will download. To download and check what is the SHA value. And once you download application, you also cross check what is the hash value of your current application that you have downloaded. If hash value both are same, that means you download the exact application. If hash values of what is being given and what you download a file, if extract the hash value, if both are different, that means some change happen on the application and may not be working properly because changes happen. The uniqueness of the file we can identify using the hash values. So hash value we can use to identify the malicious file also. Attackers are very intelligent. Sometimes they will send the malware email, phishing email, sending it's an offer letter. Sometimes they will send that file lottery number. Yes or no? Sometimes somebody else, some different file name. Yes or no? File name are different, but malware is same only. Yes or no? They will not change the content program of the malware. They will change the name. In this case, if we can check this email is suspicious, we can extract the SHA value, means hash values, and we can check on some other tool like VirusTotal, some other tools. We can check, we can put the hash value and check if this hash value is identified before anybody has submitted as a malicious. Yes or no? Because software is same only, malware is same only, but file name is different. So malware analysis also, we use the hash value is very important. Understand? So antivirus, whenever I will tell you antivirus and next, maybe next session. So antivirus, when antivirus will scan the file, antivirus will scan the file, it will also extract the hash value of the file. Get me? Antivirus identify the malwares, viruses based on the hash value also. Antivirus team will update the signature hash values. If hash value is the file and hash value in signature matches, means it's a malware or it's a Trojan, it can block. But in case it is not matches also, it's not blocked, but it still will generate on the logs that okay, antivirus has scanned this particular file and this is the hash value. Every file that I scan, it will add the hash value, right? So you can scan also. You can, once we have the SIEM, SIEM, I will tell you in the later part. So all the logs will come on the SIEM, and then you can, for example, some recent attack happened, and malware file has been sent to the company, and this was the hash value. Then you can search on your network if any of the system has received any file with this hash value, because our identity did not identify. But maybe system has been compromised or anybody has received that email or attachment which have this particular hash values that you can see on the antivirus logs. The antivirus EDR solution will scan the file and check the hash value. Any solution which scan the file will come to know hash value. Without scanning, you cannot retrieve it. Either you manually, you will have some CMD command, or you can upload the file on VirusTotal. VirusTotal will scan the file and retrieve the hash value. Through CMD command, you can just search in Google how to extract hash value of the particular file. A simple command. Through command line, you can extract the hash value. Got it clear? Very important. Interview asks what is hashing, what is the hash value, what is MD5, what is the use of hash, right? Very important. Now you got the clarity.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, can you explain the email gateway via diagram?
डायग्राम से ही तो बताया है यार.
बताया वो it was mess up with the lines. That's why.
Nessus means it is same like this. See, I am drawing like this only, right? Whatever traffic is coming, email, it will go through email gateway, and then it will go through firewall, then it will go to other network. क्या मैं तो ऐसे ही बनाऊंगा मैं हर एक चीज का. It looks like same only, right? Whenever you send an email, it will go through email gateway. Email gateway will check what is the category you are allowed or not. It will, otherwise it will allow, otherwise it will block. Similarly, email gateway will have the inbound policies. Email came, check with the category it falls under. If it does not fall under any category, it will deliver to your email to the user, right? Get a mind?
Thanks, sir.
So next device that we have is proxy. Now we secure our network from email-based attack. Firewall sometimes allow, sometimes disallow, sometimes allow even with blacklisted IP also, because firewall does not have signature. Yes or no? So if it comes through email gateway, emails, we have email gateway. Now there is a possibility you may receive an email. An email, sometime maybe email gateway failed, phishing email. It has a link. Once you click on link, it asks you to enter your username, password, to reset your password, right? Or maybe possible that sometime you access some website which are which are malicious website, and sometimes you actually you actually access legitimate website, but they are actually vulnerable with cross-site scripting. You enter one of the link and it has been redirected to some other website, some other phishing website, some malware website from where something has been downloaded, or Paramini UC browser has downloaded, video player has been downloaded. Yes or no? These are infected websites. So you may end up downloading some malwares. You may end up some website. You may end up entering some information, some phishing link. Yes, so search on Google ICICI Bank net banking. You search in Google ICICI Bank net banking, and you in the first link you see there is a phishing link, which looks like ICICI Bank net banking. Once you click on that link, page is same as ICICI. You entered user and password. Because sometimes when you search on the Google, we exactly do not see what is the URL. Any other people, right? It was actually not ICICI Bank. It's a dummy. It's a phishing link. Once you click on the link, it was ICICIBank.com. ICICI Bank, same page. You enter username, password, and your credential has been stolen by this phishing link, right? So there is a possibility. Yes or no? You do not receive email to send some information, but through phishing link. Yes or no? So some other you might end up downloading some malware, some viruses, right? Also, your user can upload some information on the Google Drive, box.com, share drive, Gmail access they can do, right? So we have to regulate. We have to safeguard our network from this phishing malware website, as well as we have to also regulate people. Unauthorized people should not be able to access Google Drive, should not be able to access Gmail. Otherwise, we are saving our network from emails, right? People should not be able to send email through Outlook or through a company email, but they can upload anything on the Gmail, send the email to Google Docs or somewhere, right? So we have to regulate. So internet access, we can regulate using the device that we call as proxy, content filtering, or URL filtering. The main name of the device is proxy. Why do you call as proxy? We also call as URL filtering. Or we also call content filtering. Content filtering, right? URL filtering or content filtering. Proxy इसके बाद फिर क्या है? Proxy के बाद एंटीवायरस है, IPS IDS है. और दो दिन इसमें क्लास में क्लास करता है. Thursday, ठीक है. हाँ, रिटर्न. ओके. क्या हो गया? नहीं लिखे थे? नहीं लिख पाए थे? Content filtering, proxy, content filtering, and third is URL filtering. Anything you can call, right? There are many vendors for proxy. Some of the famous vendors are, anybody? This is firewall, right? Let's say this is proxy. Anybody? What are some of the famous vendors?
Blue coat.
Blue coat. Coat तो बहुत ही famous है. Blue coat proxy. Some of the you can buy hardware software again, right? And you can have a cloud also. Blue coat. Blue coat. We call it proxy SG. Blue coat proxy SG. SG. Now I think it's with Symantec. Symantec proxy it becomes Symantec blue coat proxy. Next is Cisco. Cisco ESA, WSA, Cisco WSA, Web Security Appliance, Web Security, right? Cisco WSA, Cisco Web Security. There are multiple vendors like Palo Alto also have proxy. Your Fortinet also have web proxy, right? There's some of the blue coat, Cisco WSA, hardware software, right? So what happens is, whenever, for example, you want some proxy from blue coat, right? So it will be connected through to whom? You connected through blue coat cloud, right? Research team, right? So what, you know what happens? Your proxy team, proxy vendor have the research team, which does the research. If any website comes live on the internet, right? They will review those websites and they will check the content and they will categorize the website, means what category belongs to. For example, when we have made our website live SIEMXpert.com, they review the content. Now they are categorizing under the education and training category. Education and training category. Gmail falls under the email category. Your your social media such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, categorized under the social media category. Your ICICI Bank, IDFC First Bank, right? Your Axis Bank falls under banking category. Business category, some website. Government category, government website category, right? Your Gold Drive, Box.com, P-Cloud falls under the file sharing category, right? So all the website technology category, live streaming like your YouTube video streaming website, YouTube Vimeo.com, live streaming or video streaming website. Yes or no? So all the website will be categorized under such categories, right? You have the category information here. Okay, this social media, email category, your Gmail category, email category, technology category, right? Business category, search engine, Google, Yahoo search engine, different category. Apart from that, malware category, phishing category, spam category, right? These category also will be added here. Any website which are phishing link, malware link, right, will be added under malware. By default, anybody access any website falls under malware category, phishing category, adult category will not be accessible for anyone, right? In this case, you can see we can safeguard a network from phishing category, malware, and other categories, right, which will be blocked here by default of all users. So we can safeguard a network from outside threat, for web-based threats, yes or no? Phishing, malwares, and all, right? Because they'll be as soon as they will review, will categorize and will update the category here. So any website that you are accessing category under malware, you'll get the block page. Website will not be able to access; it will get blocked. Apart from that, you can also regulate what website these set of user can access, because different user have different roles and responsibility. Okay, yes or no? This is the business analyst. This set of users are business analysts. They should not be accessing technology website. They should not be accessing YouTube. They should not be accessing Gmail, email. Otherwise, they can send the data outside. They should not be accessing YouTube. Like either they can do the time pass, or unnecessarily they will eat the bandwidth. So based on the job role, what category of the website should be accessible for a set of users? We can create the internet groups like business users, executive, technology, HR, right? Different category internet access level we can create, and we can add the set of user on those categories, those access level. Those sort of level users will be only access those sort of category of the website. Business user, if access the YouTube website, but that does not mean the falls under business category, he'll get the block page saying that the organization has chosen to block this page for you because it falls under the technology category, right? If you think that this is an error for you, then reach out to SOC team or whatever email or contact number you can give, proxy team can give to contact, right? So there are many times if you are handling the proxy also SOC team, then you'll get an email, okay, I'm not able to access this website, the required from work perspective, right? I'm not able to kindly give the access. You'll ask them, what is the business justification? If any website falls under the other higher categories, we can ask to take the approval of your manager. Manager approves, then we'll give the access. Generally, Gmail, Google Drive, email category, Google Drive, these access are very critical. We should not give to any user, otherwise they will upload any data. They're very critical, right? In that case, most of the critical companies will ask them to take the VP level of approval, higher management approval. Not your manager approval will not work. VP approves, will raise the risk to the VP saying that giving the access to the Gmail website, now user will have access and can send any critical data outside and we will not have any control. If you are ready to take the risk on your own, then you can approve. Means we can raise the risk. Some business people may not understand this. Business VP, director may not understand it is our responsibility to raise the risk. But this is the risk. If you are approving this access, then user can send any critical information and will not have any control. Yes or no? So if they were you, then we can give the access to particular user, also add particular website, particular user, or we can also give to set of users, set of category, particular access level. We can give the whole user. Apart from this category, we could also allow or disallow any website. We can block any website or we can whitelist any website to any user. Understand? That can be done using proxy. So proxy safeguard our network from phishing links, from malware links, as well as it helps us.
Proxy is a server.
It can be server.
Proxy is a server.
We call as server, of course, because it will be hosted on operating system only, right? So I call it proxy server, proxy device, right? Because it has the operating system only, it's kind of server only, right? Proxy server or proxy, you can say. So using proxy, we can regulate our internet access. Means what user should access what website, should not access what website. We can regulate using proxy, URL filtering device, or content filtering. It is filtering, right? URL filtering. Name is URL filtering. It filters the URL, right? What website you can access, what website, Content filtering, because it's a content, URL is kind of content. That's what we call content filtering. But why we call as proxy? We understand two meaning, content filtering, URL filtering. But what is the meaning of proxy?
Sir, why we are using proxy? Like web application firewall can't do this? Like why we need another?
Web
even
firewall
also.
Reverse proxy. Web we call as reverse proxy because both are opposite to each other. See, using web application, we are firewall, we are securing our application from outside people. We are securing our applications, right, from outside people. Using proxy, we are securing our users from outside application. It's just vice versa, right? Yes or no? Here we are securing our application from outside users, bad users. Here we are securing our users from outside application. Both are opposite, right? That's why we call as proxy, and WAF we call as reverse proxy. WAF is also being called as reverse proxy. If anybody asks me what is reverse proxy, then it is nothing but the WAF. Understand? Understand? So why we call this the proxy? You know what happens? For example, if you have company has deployed the proxy, right? Then, for example, this IP is 10.0.0.5, your computer IP, right? Then we have to configure all the system that whenever they access the internet, their access request should go to the proxy. Should go to the. If you don't have proxy, it will go to the firewall, then internet, right? So then we have to tell in the browser, if you see, go in the LAN setting, there's an option to configure proxy IP address and port number. If your browser has already proxy IP configured, that means whatever website you access, it will go through the proxy. Yes or no? Then proxy will check your access level and allow or disallow. Right? So what happens is generally proxy do not allow your communication directly to the internet. Instead, for example, you have access facebook.com. Now, once it receives the request from facebook.com, it will initiate new connection on behalf of you and go to the internet. Now, in case your system has a public IP also, your public IP will not go to the internet. Instead, proxy IP will go to the internet. Whatever connection coming in, it will receive and it will initiate a new request on behalf of you and go to the internet. So internet proxy IP will go, not your IP address. Your IP address is behind the proxy, means you are hidden. If your system is having here it is public IP, private IP, right? But in case it is public IP also, your IP will go to the internet. Instead, your proxy IP will go to the internet. Your internet will understand this particular system having IP address has initiated the connection. They will not able to identify this particular system. That is the reason sometimes attacker is behind the proxy. Attacker using proxy. Yes or no? Maybe attacker in proxy behind the proxy will not be able to catch him. Maybe this is not an attacker, it is the proxy IP. And internet will have some free IP, paid IP proxy, which you can use to hide your identity. Because your IP is behind the proxy. Whatever you do, proxy IP will go to the internet, not yours. Means for malicious purpose, people can access the proxy. Sometimes some blog website also you access the proxy. I will tell you how you can access it. Get in mind? So this proxy, your system IP is not going to go to the internet. Instead, proxy IP proxy will insert new connection and get the information and then give it to you. Means proxy is going to the internet on behalf of you. This is actually why we call as proxy. Proxy means someone else will do on behalf of you. Many times we'll get the inquiry from mostly from Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. They will inquire for the training and they will tell, do you also give the proxy interview? Do you help us in proxy interviews? Now you can correlate this with the proxy interviews. Proxy interviews means, what do you mean by proxy interview? What they're actually asking? When they ask us, do we give the proxy interviews? What do you understand by this? What are they exactly?
Someone else will be taking the interview on behalf of you.
Yes, they are asking, will you give the interview on behalf of us? Behalf of me, will you give the interview? Right? That is called as proxy. That's kind of big scam going on, mostly in Andhra and Telangana. Big scam. People charge 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs rupees. I had so many people who fall in the trap. They actually did not give the proper training, proper hands-on, right? They will give the interview, charge 2 lakhs, 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. And they will give the interview and they'll place you somewhere, offer 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs also, right? And now once you join, since you are not trained, you don't have hands-on, you get scared. One of the guy last week, his father called me. His father, last month, his father called me and he explained the situation. This is what happened. We end up paying 2.5 lakh rupees. Now our son has been placed in Mumbai-based company, in Mumbai. Now he is scared. He's saying that he will leave the job because he is not able to perform his work. Get in mind? He was literally crying. That guy, his father took him in the call. He was literally crying. And he said, we have paid hard-earned money, 2.5 lakh rupees to these guys. And now our son is asking to leave the job, right? I tell them you would have taken the training properly, right? It won't cost you much. And on the ethical way, you would have given the interview, you would have got the job, you'll feel much confident. If you're doing something yourself, you'll be confident, right? If you're not able to do something someone else is doing, you'll not get that confidence. You'll be scared all the time because you'll not be able to do the work. Same thing happening. So finally he joined the training. Now he's working confidently, right? So that is what we call as proxy. This kind of scam is going on. Lip sync they will do. Some other people, they will have to kind of earphone, right? In online interview. One video also got viral a few months back. Corona time एक बंदा lip sync कर रहा था. So means I am giving the interview, I have lips only, and person behind me he will tell the answer. I will only lip sync, and whenever there is a lip mismatch, they will understand. Okay, maybe network problem. But when you see network is stable, that video went viral. Network was pretty stable. He was asking question and he got confused and he stopped listening. And answer is still coming. Person behind him is still answering the question and he stopped listening. Then he identified person is listening, his scam is going, all those stuff, and he recorded the video in Teams and made it viral. That's the reason I literally seen on LinkedIn, people from Telangana and Hyderabad do not mind it, but this is reality, I'm telling you. Literally last month, I have seen on one of the interview that they're looking for this resource, but resources not from Andhra and Telangana. A bad reputation has been developed because of these guys. They specifically mind we do not want people from Andhra and Telangana. Why? Because of this kind of scam. So that is what we call as proxy. Someone else is giving the
it's correct, sir. Our organization is not hiring people from South.
That is what I'm saying. Especially, I'm not saying all South, but especially from Andhra and Telangana. It's a big scam. I don't know why this kind of happening there only. That is, this is reality. This is not something I'm telling. This is the reality over the internet world. Everybody, these people are also aware. It's not something that we are doing, but this is aware. This is I'm not saying everybody, right? एक मछली पूरा तालाब को गंदा कर देती है, एक गंदा person, right? That is what happening. Some people who has made this happen. So my suggestion for them is to take the proper training, learn it yourself, be confident whole life, right? We'll continue the proxy feature tomorrow class. Thank you for joining.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes.
So like you have explained this proxy, in the earlier topic you explained as the email gateway. Do we need to deploy both this proxy as well as email gateway, or?
No. That is not falls under your responsibility. Only will receive the logs. Only receive the logs. Now you understand. Email gateway will be integrated with your SIEM. Means you'll get the email gateway log. Which user has sent an email from which email ID? What is the destination email ID? Right? What is the subject line? What is the attachment name? This logs you'll get on your SIEM for SOC perspective. You need not to deploy any such device. If it is required, I will explain you, or I would recommend you to join separate training for that, right? But only knowledge is required. That's it.
No. What I mean to say is, in the real-time environment, both the devices will be deployed,
yes,
right?
Of course. Whatever I explain you means all the devices you will see. These are very common devices that you will see in majority of IT environment, IT infrastructure. Router, switches, firewall, WAF, proxy, email gateway, antivirus, that are IPS ideas, right? That means those are very common. That's why I'm explaining you here.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir. What is logs? That's right. Other people who has office, they can wind up, they can leave, they can disconnect. Only people who are asking questions, they can ask the question.
What is logs?
Huh? What
is logs?
Logs means event evidence, right? Last time I explained you. Event means who has come, from what IP. That will be record. It's nothing but the record, right? Record who has come, who has gone, what is the IP address, what is source IP address. It will record that we call it event or log, LOG, log.
Sir, many. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Many times from the company mail ID, Gmail ID is blocked. So it is going to the email gateway, right, sir?
It's through email gateway, yes. Maybe it is blocked. Once you send an email, it will be blocked. And you do not try to send it also. If you sign some sensitive information, it will get blocked, and security will come to know what you are sending, and they send you the policy violation in such cases. In the company, then
so sir, in that case, if the mail sent to the Gmail ID, so it is got stuck in the email server, right. So it will be readable from the SOC team, right?
Yes, we can download the exact email, what are the attachment, what are the content exactly. If any email quarantine in the email gateway, you can download exact email, see all content, attachment, everything.
Yeah, if it is delivered, so then we can see in the log form.
Only log, only record. You can't see the actual attachment. You can't see the actual content, what was written on subject line. Subject line you can see, but content, dear Sumit, hope you are good. These all things you can't see, right? Only attachment, subject line, source email ID, destination email ID, attachment name, Subject line, all this information you can see.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
This proxy setting we can achieve through firewall also.
Hey, firewall cannot see the URL. If firewall, next generation firewall, has the proxy feature, then only you can see that. Okay, standard firewall, port number and IP address, it cannot check the URL. Okay, if you have next generation firewall proxy feature inbuilt, then only you can check, otherwise no. But we are talking about a separate devices here, right? So separate feature proxy.
Yeah, Panorama, Palo Alto, they have that URL.
That means it has proxy inbuilt.
Yeah,
That is
okay.
That is the means that is the proxy work, URL filtering device. If your device has that feature also, so there are many devices, next generation firewalls, which have RUT, unified threat management, which are having these multiple features on the same device, right? But feature we call a different name, right?
Yes, thank you.
Like, sir, firewall is like
Sir, when we got
level
that
4
lab
device.
access.
One by one, Abhi iPhone.
Yeah. So my question is, sir, like firewall is like level 4 device, right?
Layer
So
3, layer 4.
proxy,
Layer
yeah,
3.
layer 3, layer 4.
Right.
So in that case, proxy will be.
It also kind of layer 3, layer 4 only, but it identifies the URL.
Okay.
Because it do not, yeah, it identifies the URL. It do not identify proxy, right? Actual data which in what you are accessing. You only access the URL.
Okay, sir. And only question I have, I'm so sorry. I'll ask only this question and I'll leave then. So, sir, actually, my question is, like in my organization, I'm working for a company. So, sometime if I'm getting some email from from the source side, so I'll be having some documents. So it will be showing like if I'm downloading the documents, so it will be showing like the documents are being scanned. So it is related to the email security appliances, or I guess
When it being scanned, when you are seeing that, when you download,
whenever I am downloading, before downloading, it will be showing the documents are being scanned. So
before from email, before you download from Outlook, right?
Yeah.
Right. Why? Because it's happening through antivirus. It's called a real-time scan. Before you download, once you download, that time it will scan, or once you open also, that time also it will scan. Right? Nowadays, once you try to download, right? Once you click, that time it will start scanning. Get it? And it will block. If it is actually virus, it will block at the same time for real-time scanning.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Sir, when we got that lab access?
Lab access was we start the practical session. Once we start a SIEM, SIEM main tool of the SOC is SIEM. Once we start the SIEM, once we start the practical SIEM also, first of all, theoretically we'll understand what is the architecture, what are the components, right, of the SIEM, how it works. Then once we start performing practicals, then you'll get the access. So if I give it now, there is no sense of doing it. You will get confused what to do, what not to do, right? Because once we start practical session and practical, theory, continuously practicals, right? Theory, practical. But before, doing all those, we should understand theoretically the concept. Yes or no? Okay, guys. So we'll mind of the day. We'll connect tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.
Sir, I had one doubt.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Last question.
Sir, I'm working in one of the organizations. So when once I worked in project, then we are connected through VPN, so we can connect it to our client. Okay, so the same thing if I do in my personal laptop, is there working, sir? So I can install that proxy for a VPN.
You have to come back again.
Hello.
You have to come back again. Come back again.
Hello.
Come back again. I'm saying to
no, he's asking, can he access his office application through by installing VPN?
Not through your VPN. I'll tell you. I'll explain you VPN, proxy, and difference between them. What is the use of VPN? So if your company VPN, you can use company client only, because the configuration is related to company. If you install some other VPN client, connect to the company, you will not be able to connect.
Okay.
Otherwise, anybody
Thank
can
you.
connect. Right? For our lab also, lab access also you'll get through VPN only. You have to install VPN client. You'll get user ID and password. Through that, you will connect to our company network and take the remote access.
Okay.
So VPN client is authorized for particular company servers.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So we'll wait of the day. We'll connect.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.